cannot see it, but I can confirm for you it is cut now. It's a very special pleasure for me to be here today and have you all in the room with us on behalf of Nokia, and I'm very much honored by your presence. Let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Daniel Jäger. I'm within Nokia in charge of the region that is called Central, East and West Africa, which, even if it's technically speaking only a part of Africa, is of course the biggest part of Africa, and of course it includes Ethiopia. It's a very important step for us that we are doing today, that we came here to celebrate today, re-establishing the presence and the strong presence of Nokia in the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Your country is one of the strongest success stories on this continent. In the way you have put the framework together over the last years, you have managed to show, and I would say, amazing strong growth in an economic, in the same way, and in a socio-demographic way as well. You have a young and educated population, which probably makes, in contrast to other places, the telecommunication sector an even more important contributor. You have a population that is eager to use the communication tools that we are having today, and is eager, I believe, to also contribute on a global scale to the digital economy, and all that will be an important contributor to making Ethiopia a strong contributor to the continent and to its development as such. It makes me very happy and proud to express on behalf of Nokia, in particular on behalf of our CEO Rajiv Suri, our commitment to Ethiopia as a country, to the telecommunications industry in the country, and very particular to all the operators in the country, of course, as well. We are, as many of you are aware, in the process of establishing our presence here in the country again. By establishing a presence has, of course, a legal aspect of establishing a legal entity in the country, but of course also opening an office that we are literally doing in the next few days. You will see over the next few months a growing presence of Nokia in the country. There will be more people that will be working here, that will be in touch with you and with the industry, and you will at the same time also see that the face of Nokia here in Ethiopia will become more and more a local face as well. I will not go back very far in history, but Nokia has this year celebrated the 151st birthday, which is quite a history. And in this industry, like in many others, a lot of change has happened over the years. So even if Nokia, of course, is a brand name that as such I don't need to explain to you, it is still important to see that the company has gone through quite some change. 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was the brand name or the household name for mobile devices, for handsets. While this is still part of our portfolio to some extent, the focus of our activity today is very much on the network side. So building together with operators or with governments the networks of the future. And these networks can take various shapes. To some part, of course, there's fixed networks, where fiber plays a more and more important role, but there's also the mobile networks that have taken over, in particular in Africa, the leading role within the network generally, where we are talking today 4G, and 5G is as the latest technology just around the corner. But it goes also further than that. There's submarine cables, there's transmission, optic transmission, a few other technologies which we will come back a bit later in the day, but this is what is the focus of Nokia today. And of course on top, it is not just equipment that we're talking about, there's a lot of services that are very much connected to that, and services are as much as important as the equipment is today. It's also worth noting, for the sake of completeness, that Nokia just went through the acquisition of Alcatel-Lucent, which was only finalized in January this year. So what you see today here is Nokia. We internally sometimes refer to as the new Nokia, because indeed it is a much bigger and much stronger company than before. A partner who is working with you together in a very close way in order to realize the ambitions that you as a country or the players in the industry have for the sake of your population. And I think that's an important point, that we are not talking just from a technology angle and say we want to build a great network. Of course we want to build great networks, but the end purpose is not in the network as such. We all know that the socio-economic development is important for everybody, for every country in Africa.
Mr. Daniel Jäger, VP of Nokia for Africa. All representatives of Ethio Telecom, the Ministry, African Union, Nokia, and particularly of the media. On my behalf also, you're most welcome. I would like to express also my joy in that Nokia is now back. Even during my stay here, I have been often referred to the time maybe 10 years ago when Nokia was part of the building Addis Abeba mobile network. And now, as Mr. Daniel Jäger told that Nokia is very proud of having gone through these mergers with Siemens and with Alcatel-Lucent, and now they have become very strong. And my government, Finnish government, is also very proud of Nokia now. We also see that now Nokia is technically very competitive. And we are very happy that Nokia has also chosen among the countries where they have now taken up activities. They have also planned to settle down here in Ethiopia, first by opening this branch. And I heard that it will be established near the Wollesefer roundabout, where also my residence happen to be. So the few blocks north from Wollesefer roundabout will be recognized as Bole Finlandia, I hope, afterwards. And really, this will be an interesting event. I'm also thrilled to learn about all the new technical innovations that are available. So I don't take more of your time because I hope we can use this time to learn about all the new technological solutions that are available. But I would just once again wish all of you welcome, and I look forward to working together with all of you. Thank you.
Honorable Ambassador of Finland, this is my name. Higher officials from NOKIA and Ethiopia and invited guests. I have also friends and colleagues from African Union. And it's actually a privilege to speak on this event where Nokia is actually coming to Ethiopia to participate into the National Development Plan. And on behalf of the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology, as we are also saying to all players in the sector, welcome to Ethiopia. And clearly the market is there, and we have also a very stretched growth and transformation plan, but really achievable. And we can only achieve based on the support and the cooperation we can actually make with a strong partner like Nokia. And in this regard, clearly, we welcome the Nokia actually to establish an office here in Addis Ababa. The reason is in making business, clearly, a very closer relationship is really important. We need support, especially after-sales support, very closely to us, so that the business will actually be continuous. And in this regard, we are actually appreciating. Clearly, your core area might be more on telecom, but we want to actually also express our interest to participate in some other area of ICT as well, like electronic government, the IT park, which we have already established and located here in Addis, housing all IT and IT-related companies. And clearly, a company like Nokia will actually give us a support and potential actually to run the park. And at the national level, if you just see the GTP plan, we should actually achieve a lot of assignment. Just to actually name the major one, we will be actually establishing a network or a government network which is actually be capable to interconnect the government institutions to make electronic service delivery smoother. And in this regard also, we invite actually to participate in the sector.
Thank you.
the ministry, to all the honorable guests here, to my NOKIA colleagues, to Ethiopia. I'm very proud to be part of NOKIA, but I'm also very proud to be living in this age of technology. When I see 20 years back, when I joined NOKIA, and what we have today, I guess everyone is transformed. You go everywhere, you see everyone with mobile phone. You know that for every 10% of penetrations, we increase 1% of GDP in every country. And this is why I'm working for NOKIA. Because I know that us helping operators, we're going to help the people. We want to make a safer world. We want to make a world that it is better. And this is what is the whole idea of NOKIA and our business. It's not just equipment. This is just a way of reaching the final objective. And this is why I'd like to talk a little bit about technology and why this has changed and what are we bringing from NOKIA to Ethiopia as our technologies. 150 years old. My son, when I told him that NOKIA is dead, he told me, "Are you very old, Papa?" And I say, "Yeah, 150 old is quite old, but at the same time, we always foster innovation." If we see NOKIA, we invented a lot of things, meaning we are part of 3GPP. We pretty much, together with others, have done 2G, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and now we heard about 5G. All the Gs now coming. And this is an area where we need to worry about 4 things. And I want to explain to you what we mean by how can we translate technology to our day-to-day. Today you're going to see on those pods there parts of the puzzle that we need to put together. Number one puzzle is connectivity. At Telecom, it is responsible to provide connectivity throughout the country, throughout technology. And we can have 2 parts of that connectivity. One is we can do through a radio part, to actually the waves. And the second part would be to cable, or to, in this case, fiber to physical means. There's 2 ways. And then we need to do this better and better. And this is what we do. When you have 2G, 3G, 4G, is nothing more than transport 1 byte, 1 part of the communication on a better way. When you see about, why 3G is better than 4G? Or why 4G is better than 3G? And these questions. It is all about transporting the things faster, better, and that the end user have the final experience.
I'm very honored to be here as part of this really important celebration for NOKIA today. So actually I was told and asked to talk about some of the activities we do with governments. I'm Ibrahim Ribi. I'm working actually as government public relations for NOKIA, for the Africa and Middle East region. And part of that engagement involves interactions with government and policymakers to shape some of these projects and ICT strategies. Of course, we have, as NOKIA and Ethiopia, the combined companies, a long history of working with government across the globe. Australia, New Zealand, the US, Europe, Africa, we're building infrastructure, backbones, mobile network access for governments, and that's really a long history. But I would like to stress the fact that as a company, we do not just listen and look at the infrastructure side of things. We like to extend to the human possibilities and the transformations of lives through technology. So I will just give some examples of what we're doing, particularly in Africa. So in Ghana, for example, we are working with the Ministry of Communications to build communication links between the central and regional administrations as part of an e-government plan. And in addition to that, in fact, to that connectivity and to the administrative services and also the e-government platform and data centers, we are actually putting an e-learning platform, because that e-learning is really important, because we believe we need some capacity building, we need some additional services that we need to leverage on the digitization and the important impact of ICT and extend it to all the vital sectors of the economy. Another interesting project which we are undergoing now is in Burkina Faso. I'm very pleased to say that this solution is actually our first stop and the first country to adopt this solution is in Africa, is Burkina Faso. This is really an innovation because it is a distributed cloud for the government. It's actually, we are helping them answer two questions. As you know, most governments, they have initiatives, health initiatives, education, infrastructure, administration, government, and in the end, the complexity of these and the risk is to have them fragmented because in the end you need them to be somehow aligned and avoid silos and duplicate investments of IT, of servers, of communication services and so on. But also, how do we foster innovation in the regions and of course in the different sectors, because we know they have their own specifics, they have their own needs, but in the end there's a common framework that we could put in place. And in Burkina Faso, we have worked with really brilliant people who understood the need and the solution itself. And with that, we are helping them basically put the solution in place, and which means, in addition to our backbone, it will mean that the health workers, the education, they could actually implement their own services, but in the end, we will have one common principle of orchestration to authenticate, to add services and so on. So same common principles, foundation, framework, but these services, they have their own specifics. And this actually means a lot of cost savings in terms of investments and so on. But we are really excited about this project because now a lot of countries are looking at this initiative and saying this is very interesting. Even in the most developed countries, I'm saying this is something we would really like to do. So we are quite excited about this. Of course,
let me again state on behalf of NOKIA, we're very proud of having to be here. We trust on the support and the partnership, as you said, represented in the beginning, in a win-win situation to work together and to build a partnership with you as important stakeholders in the country. So thank you very much again for your attendance today. Big pleasure having you here today. This will be an important event for the future to shape in the way we will be working together. Thank you very much, and please enjoy the rest of the afternoon with us. Thank you.
And this is something that we need to overcome because this project, the core fixed wireless, experience.